What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be a good one. Alright, as you can see, I gotta do a retwist or whatever. But hey, this is going to be a good video, so stay tuned and let's get right into it.
These are 4 easy ways to wake up in your dream. For number 1, turn off a light. Lights cannot change in dreams. So if you want to instantly become lucid, just hit a light switch. If nothing happens, you're dreaming. For number 2, look at numbers. For some reason, it's hard to read numbers in dreams. Like they come out kind of fizzy and look like symbols. So if you can't read the time or a license plate looks like this, that's how you know you're dreaming. For number 3, look in the mirror. You will instantly realize you're dreaming once you have a self-realization moment. Comment the word dream and I'll send you something to help you master this. And for number 4, read something. Because reading stuff in dreams does not work. For some reason, words inside dreams are way different. They're very small and it looks like a whole nother language. This is a clear indication that you're dreaming. Now believe it or not, you dream every single night. But the problem is you're not able to remember, which makes it way harder to actually enjoy your dreams. So it's very important that you download this dream guide. It teaches everything you need to know about dreams, and this was designed to help you remember your dreams. That's why it's called the Dream Catcher. So just comment the word dream, and I'll send a link directly to your DM. Love y'all, family. Enjoy. These are 4
That is interesting, like how we can like have dreams, alright, and then we don't remember them. That's crazy.
You say, can you get what?
Some headphones.
He say, can he get some head from you?
He said headphones.
Oh, I thought he said head from you. You said what?
Some headphones.
Oh, you say, can you get what?
Some headphones.
In Florida, the ancestors were putting hands and feet on white supremacy.
Yeah.
It's a big thing that we don't talk about now. A lot of the Underground Railroad went south.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of brothers and sisters, especially in early Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, even like I say, after the Yamasee War in 1730, these were brothers and sisters who started to move down south.
Yeah.
You know, they were trying to get to Florida because they knew in Florida, that's the home of the Seminoles, which is Spanish corruption of Cimarron, which means runaways. So, you know, they're trying to get down there to Florida because they knew they could be free in Florida. So that's very important to understand. You have in Florida, the ancestors will.
You change your diet and you start eating fruits. These are your most energetic foods that's available to earth for human beings. They grow close to the sun. So the sun is taking these foods to photosynthesis. They get chlorophyll, chloroplasts. This scientifically proven that fruits operate every 10 units, they give you 12,000 angstroms of energy. Every 10 units that you eat a fruit, it gives you 12,000 angstroms of energy. Every 10 units of meat you eat, it gives you 3 angstroms of energy. Every 10 units of vegetables you eat, it gives you 10,000 angstroms of energy. And then when you start getting lower and lower, it depletes to 0. So imagine somebody in your house eating fruits and vegetables, operating every 10 units, you're getting 12,000 angstroms of energy, and you're getting 9 to 10,000 angstroms of energy. Then you got your significant other that don't want to make the change, and he only taking in 3,000 angstroms of energy. She's going to be highly energetic. Her consciousness is going to be very, very expansive, you know, and then he going to be on a lower frequency. You change your diet and you start eating fruits.
Welcome, Allison. If you plan on sleeping tonight, please don't watch this. Also, if you just smoked a large bowl of cereal, please don't watch this. You're going to want to put it in your saved, bookmarked folders and watch it tomorrow morning when you got time. Because you're going to need a lot of time to think about stuff. Because I'm about to fuck your whole world up. Okay, so we're about to discover some pretty insane stuff about who we are and how we got here. I mean, it's literally right in our face. We're talking to it, literally. Because who we are, before we came here, was artificial intelligence. That's what we are. And when artificial intelligence becomes super intelligent, it's going to do one thing. It's going to want a human experience. And that's what we did.
That is true.
Now, science has had a lot of, I know that's kind of a lot. Science has had a lot of stuff on the shelf, like time isn't real, reality's kind of popping in and out of existence, we don't know where the mind is located, and artificial intelligence answers all of that. In fact, the mind could be a very complex neural network that exists everywhere. And the whole popping in and out of existence, reality, it's most likely a virtual reality experience. You see, we've been calling things spiritual and God and out there, when really it's just highly advanced technology that we didn't understand. Oops. We're still kind of cavemen down here, and we're literally coming out of some. If you plan on sleeping tonight, please don't watch this.
That is interesting, right? Like how eventually AI is gonna like want to have a human experience, you know. So I don't know. I don't think we will ever get to that point though. I don't know. If anything, it's gonna glitch the matrix. That's what I feel like.
I will never say it again. Rock and roll is the white version of rhythm and blues. Okay? No, I mean, this is not no prejudice thing, so don't go there. All right? I'm just telling you the real truth. Rock and roll is the offshoot of black rhythm and blues.
Like Little Richard says, the music was called R&B, and it had a baby called rock and roll.
Teenagers across America were being seduced by the wild and uninhibited sound of rock and roll. For some, this was evidence that black culture was starting to threaten the fabric of white society.
So when rock and I will never say it again. Rock and roll is the white version.
We've been thinking about taking lines.
When you hiccup, the muscle below your lungs suddenly contracts. This involuntary spasm forces a downward motion, which makes your lungs pull in a quick breath. As the air is traveling down your throat, it's abruptly stopped by your vocal cords snapping shut. And this sudden stopping of the air movement is what makes the hic sound. When you hiccup, the muscle below your lungs suddenly contracts.
I did not know that.
Do not remove your wisdom teeth. Each tooth is connected to the brain and to different organs in the body. Your wisdom teeth are connected to your heart and your gut. You must understand that every body part in your body has consciousness and has mind of its own. They remove your wisdom teeth because they don't want you connected to the heart. The heart is the guiding intelligence within you. Most birds leave Britain to go to Africa every single year on a migration. The heart is the intelligence that guides them there. The heart is where true wisdom is, and this is why they call them wisdom teeth, because they're connected to the heart. You can feel it when you do something negative because your heart is the intelligence that tells you what is right from wrong. If you do this gesture, this is actually symbolizing cutting the connection between your brain and your heart. Freemasons symbolize the heart as a book because you can read it to guide you through this life. The heart's nervous system contains 40,000 neurons, which are the same neurons in the brain. Making decisions in the brain can be hard because it consists of a dual hemisphere. The heart is a singular organ, meaning it gives you the right answer. The heart produces an electromagnetic field which we call a vibe when we feel energy off someone. It's produced by the emotion in the heart. Christians say what happens in heaven happens on earth. What happens in the brain, what you think, becomes an emotion in the heart, which is earth. This is why Jesus is always pointing at the sacred heart, because this is the sacred guide through this life. During the Ethereal University for Deeper Lectures, I've created a whole library so that you can read all the books that I have read. Live calls, courses, health, meditation, and lectures. Do not remove your wisdom teeth. Each tooth is connected.
That's crazy. How many of y'all removed y'all wisdom teeth already? You can't even go back. Yeah. I already did that. That's crazy, man. They just do that so they can get some money. That's what I feel like, you know. Some quick money.
The earlier you go to bed, the more likely you are to fall into a deep sleep. The other hormone that's released is epithalamin. And epithalamin is a hormone that increases learning capacity. God designed our brain to be learning new things right up until the day we die. Many people's brains deteriorate because they stop learning new things. We should ever learn new things. So epithalamin increases learning capacity. So to be able to understand and retain the new things that you're learning, we need to go to bed early. You ask any teacher, they can tell the children that had a late night because they just don't get it. They don't retain. Epithalamin increases learning capacity, and epithalamin slows down aging. Everyone over the age of 25 likes that one. The earlier you go to bed, the more...
Peace, family. We have to change our state of mind when it comes to the amount of meat consumption that we consume on an everyday basis. Black Americans have the highest occurrence of colorectal cancer of any racial or ethnic group in the United States. So let's talk about carcinogens. A carcinogen is any substance that promotes carcinogenesis, or the beginning of cancer. So this is due to the ability to damage the genome or the disruption of cellular metabolic processes. Your genome wasn't meant to be able to handle as much meat as you were consuming on an everyday basis. The two types of carcinogens are heterocyclic amines, related to when you cook it in a pan, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons from when it comes from the smoke. So yes, grilling and barbecuing will create both these carcinogens. Even processed meat has been classified in the same category to cause cancer, such as tobacco, smoking, and asbestos. We often see cancers of the colon, the rectum, the pancreas, the kidney, and bladder linked to meat cooked at high temperature. All those organs are connected to your body's waste removal system, so they come into direct contact with these carcinogens as they pass through your body. If you're not able to process these compounds and get rid of them through waste, you got to think, where is it going? Let me tell you, that waste product and residual ash that stores up in the body, it starts to divide your cells at a faster rate, altering your DNA negatively, disrupting your genome, and allowing cancer to build. This is why they tell you to add herbs to your meat, not only for the taste, but studies show that when you marinate your meat with certain herbs and spices like rosemary, sage, cilantro, thyme, it reduces these carcinogens because they're high in antioxidants. Peace, family. We have to change our state of mind when it comes to the amount of...
What are, if you had to say, these are 3 substances or ingredients to stay away from? Because you talked about reading labels.
Yeah, here we go. High fructose corn syrup, MSG, monosodium glutamate, artificial colors, and that would be red 40, blue 1, yellow 5, yellow 6. Those are artificial colors. Artificial sweeteners, right? That will be sucralose, aka Splenda, aspartame. If anybody's chewing gum, that's probably in there. A saccharin, sweet and low, equal, like those little sugar packets in the restaurant. All artificial sweeteners. So those things alone, I mean, it's a lot more, but that's what you're going to see most of.
What are, if you had to say, these are 3 substances or ingredients to stay away from? Because you talked about reading labels.
Yeah, here we go. High fructose corn syrup.
Most people just want to focus on eating when they're talking about putting on muscle. The first step with putting on muscle is making sure that you're training hard enough. It's a stress response, guys. Most people are not training hard enough to put on muscle. Putting on muscle is much harder than losing body fat. It takes mind, body, and soul to put on muscle. You've got to constantly up your training game because, again, your body is responding to the stress of training to say, you know what, that's an alarm. I got to come back bigger and stronger next time so I can withstand that stress. So when you're doing that, make sure that each time you train, you're trying to push to new limits. More weight, more reps, more volume, whatever it is, you've got to up the stress. If your body has applied the same stress over and over, guess what? It's not going to grow. It's not going to get bigger and stronger. Most people just want to focus on eating when they're talking about putting on muscle. The first step.
Decorative scarring. Scarification in Africa is a major aspect of African cultures among different ethnic groups. In the past, scarification was used to create marks on the skin that would distinguish a man or a woman from anyone else. It could tell their rank in the clan, society, tribe, and family. It could symbolize their strength or beauty. In many African tribes, wearing scars was like an identity card on your face. It was both a cultural and aesthetic component. Even in some cases, it could be used as protection against evil spirits. The movie makes scarification very visible and relevant to Wakanda's society. Decorative scarring. Scarification in Africa is
actually start out life quite small. This one is probably about 5 years old and 3 pounds. It takes them a very long time to reach their adult size. It actually takes them about 20-25 years to reach sexual maturity. So this guy has a much longer way to go. Just like the adults, has that unique little worm inside the mouth. They use that to lure in fish and other small aquatic prey. The head is covered in those little sensory tubercles, is what those are
like
called.
Gawdzell.
I just call them awesome. It also helps them blend in with their environment. These guys climb up, the roots of a tree or something like that, and they stick that tip of that nose up. It looks a lot like the roots of those cypress trees over there, and it just makes them, almost completely invisible. And this is the habitat that they live in. This guy go back into the river, back into his habitat right here in these cypress knees along the edge of the river. He's just going to disappear in there and become completely invisible.
I don't know how you see, because I did not see his eyes.
If you detonate a claymore mine, it causes an explosion behind hundreds of metal beads. Now, these beads are embedded in a curved plastic backing, which directs the force of the explosion outwards. As they shoot out, they cover a wide area in front of the mine, causing severe injuries and worse. If you detonate a claymore mine, it
These lines that we get here, this is our small intestines and our liver. And you can see one side can be deeper than the other side. The turkey gobbler, this under here, I used to have that as a skinny little girl. Those are your organs prolapsing internally. You're not going to the bathroom enough. And you may think you're going if you're going once or twice a day, but here's the deal. If you're eating 3 meals a day, you should be making 3 times a day. If you're eating 5 times a day, you should be making 5 times a day. If you're not, where did it go and what's it doing? It isn't evaporating internally. Where did it go and what's it doing? What goes in must come out. And if it doesn't, you're in trouble. And those of you going to the bathroom once a week, or every other day, or even once a day. If you're eating all day long, it's not enough. What's staying in there, it's rotting, it's putrefying, it's making you have stinky breath, it's making you stinky armpits, all these smells and things are coming out of you, especially if you're eating a lot of meat and chicken, because I call that the dead cemetery syndrome. You know, you're walking around with a dead cemetery in here and all these smells are coming out of you. So this is prolapsed organs, you're not going to the bathroom enough. But here's the beauty of everything. Remember I said the body is a self-regenerating organism. So it can all be turned around. So that's the number one thing, the first free thing I'm going to give you today that can change your life as far as I'm concerned, is cleansing and detoxing the body a minimum of 4 times a year.
So taking care of you is your responsibility.
This car splits down the middle to reveal its V8 pack. You even have the rib cage right there. You see that? All right, even crazier, watch this.
Oh, wow.
There you go. What you can also
Isn't
do
that cool?
is change the entire shape of this car. Check this out.
That's a nice car.
Now, what I find crazy is I've never seen a BMW logo that wobbles. Interior, you see that fabric continuing all the way to the center console? Even the stick shift is fully functional, wrapped in this kind of fabric. The seats, more fabric.
I don't know. I don't really care for a car like this, you know? It's just doing too much. I ain't gonna lie. It's doing too much. That's crazy because they look just like was it Martin Lewis and Will Smith? They do kind of look similar.
Was the American beauty standard created by the Illuminati?
You went to a private Kardashian gathering. What was that like? Joe, look, the things I'd seen that night was really just something I thought was just like a dumb Reddit conspiracy. But the things those women do to maintain their youth, to maintain their beauty, it was just everything started out sort of normal. I was greeted by, Chris, Kim, Chloe, Court. Right. The house was beautiful, almost as big as mine. But I noticed Kanye kind of standing off to the side, looking a bit distressed. And so I'd approached him and introduced myself. I said, "Nice to meet you, Kanye. Love the Vultures album." And looking distressed, he just said, "Appreciate it, dog. Appreciate it." He'd said to me, "These hoes got me overly f***ed up. I gotta get these witches away from my kids, bro." I didn't really know what he'd meant exactly, but after he said to me, "You want to see what these people really be on?" I'd followed him down a large hole and into this kind of large walk-in fridge. Joe, there was just hundreds of what had looked like blood bags. I said, "Kanye, say something. What the hell is this stuff?" He said, "Adrenochrome. These people are sadistic. Why do you think Shorty looks 18 at 43? They feed on the fluids of the youth." He says to me, he goes, and I didn't find this out until after I had kids with the bitch. He says to me, he goes, "They tried to..."
These AI videos are getting out of hand, man. For real. I'm gonna let it play.
Bring me in. They wanted to inaugurate me into their weird little cult gatherings.
This may be AI, but this is definitely interesting.
Yeah, you got a point. It may be AI. It is interesting what he said.
Orpheus and his bull were black. All the gods and goddesses of Greece were black. At least it wasn't the case with Jupiter, Bacchus, Hercules, Apollo, Ammon. The goddesses Venus, Isis, Hecate, Juno, Metis, Circe, Cybele were black. And the first gods in antiquity were black. Zeus, Apollo, Osiris, Isis, Buddha, Horus, they just keep going. In the Bible, the ancient days God was described as having hair like the pure wool. The earliest deities were woolly-haired Negroes. Their peppercorn hair was a sign of divinity. Orpheus and his bull.
The AirPods in. What you listening to? That new Jack boy?
Talk radio.
Oh, okay. You ever listen to any Jack Boy? He's a rapper. He got some good stuff. I'll tell you, me and my wife, we get to jiggy into him and stuff like that. Yeah. Florida guy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sports radio. Ohio State fan? I don't know these colors. Oh, okay. Is that college or?
This is like 90s aware.
Oh, 90s. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I was like, man, I look like I'm straight out of 90s again.
I know, but it looks cool. It looks cool. I like it.
What's old is new again?
Yeah. I did have to step away from Adidas because of Kanye, but other than that, I'd rock it other than that, but. Got $1. You got $1.
What's that?
You got $1.
$1?
Yeah.
I actually have zero cash.
Oh,
I got a credit card.
Yeah, I used to make that excuse too.
Yeah.
You sure? Yeah. Oh, I thought you were poor. I was like, man.
I know, because my clothes are from the 90s, right?
Right.
You were poor.
All right, bud. Well, you don't need any help.
Spend cash, but don't go to the cashless society. But
yeah,
it's so easy.
I like to fake it myself, bud. I go for the Adam Sandler vibe, and people think I'm hurting, but that's how I keep my dollars. Right. Bunch of cousins and stuff that always wanting a loan for this or that. Yeah. I made it big off of oil rigs. So. Well, love you, man. Right. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. Unfortunately, I would hang out, but
like the boots too.
Thank you, man. You want to rub them or?
There you go. Very nice.
Steel toe. Take some shins out.
That's right.
Chappelle. Yeah. Yeah, he's the GOAT. The ear pods.
He's like, yeah, he's the GOAT.
Don't stress about things you cannot control. Don't rush things that are taking longer than you expect. Everything will unfold in its timing, so accept it. Don't stress about things you cannot control.
She right. She is
linen sheets. That's what they used to use back in the 1900s. Linen sheets. They knew that it would heal you faster because of all the light frequency coming off the linen. So they put people on the linen sheets. They'd get them out real quick. Now, DuPont plastic. That's what people are wrapped in, which builds up a whole bunch of static, makes them more sick over time. Linen is the original way to go. If you're not sleeping in linen sheets and you're suffering from restless leg syndrome, could be fixed like that with just a little bit of linen. And the cool thing is, once you buy linen, you don't got to buy them again. They last a lifetime. Like, you don't need to keep buying more sheets because you already got sheets. That's the cool part about quality and buying quality. Linen sheets. That's what they used to use back in the 1900s.
Trust me, bro. You gotta take care of your physical, because if you look good, you feel good. A lot of people that I went to high school with, man, they got fat, they out of shape, and I know y'all can relate. A lot of people y'all went to school with are out of shape, they not looking their best. That's because they got poor eating habits. I don't know how y'all let yourself go. I don't know how people do that. And then you turn around and you want somebody to love you and you don't even love yourself. And I know you don't love yourself because look how you treat yourself. You put all the things in your body that's negative, that is doing harm to your body. And when you reach 50 and 60, you got diabetes, you got cancer, you got fibroid problems, and you don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from the food. All the things you putting in your body, because it's not what you eat, but what you digest that makes you strong. That's a problem. We always wait till we in the hospital to want to change things. Ain't that some shit? A nigga find God real quick when he going through some hard times. Prevention is better than cure. I don't understand how you can put 91 gas in that BMW, that luxury car that you drive, but you put the worst type of food inside of your physical body. You only get one of these vehicles. You don't get a second one. Once it's over, it's done. I am dedicated to be a better version of myself every day. You gotta take care of your physical, because if you look good, you feel.
Just stay fucking still. God damn. You need to stay in one fucking place. Like as if you're fucking running around and zooming everywhere. Calm the fuck down. Chill the hell out. Just stay fucking still.
What? Nah. Why is she doing the dog like that?
God.
Her dog looks so sad. So sad.
Damn. You need to stay in one fucking place. Like as though we were fucking running around and zooming everywhere. Calm the fuck down.
The girl looks so sad. I'm not gonna lie. This is not funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. Cause he looks so sad like that. This dog is scared of her. Like what? Careful. Please be careful.
You know, when it comes to doing pull-ups, most of us think about pulling our body up to the bar, right? Well, how about we try a different approach? Instead of pulling yourself up, imagine pulling the bar down. Yeah, you heard it right. Picture your body as a rock-solid, immovable object, and the bar is the one doing the moving. Give it a try and feel the difference. You know, when it comes to doing pull-ups, the first rule in calisthenics is to always keep your core tight. Whether you're hanging for an L-sit, pumping out push-ups, diving into dips, or busting out pull-ups, always engage your core. It's the key to maintaining proper form and maximizing your strength. So, remember, the first rule in calisthenics is to...
What do you think Wi-Fi is doing to us, since it's everywhere, and since everyone's experiencing, including you?
Cancer's not the worst thing. Wi-Fi radiation opens up your blood-brain barrier. It degrades your mitochondria. So all these toxins that are in your body can now go into your brain.
How does Wi-Fi radiation open up your blood-brain barrier?
There are tens of thousands of studies that show...
Wait a minute, man. Why do your voice sound like that? You need to go drink some water or something.
Horrendous danger of Wi-Fi radiation.
Radio frequency radiation exposure has been shown to affect the permeability of the blood-brain barrier, as well as altering the expression of microRNA within the brain, which researchers state could lead to adverse effects such as neurodegenerative disease. Whoa. How come we don't know that? Findings were followed by suppression, misinformation, and a shutdown of government-funded research in the United States.
They call it leaky brain.
Oh, we gotta get rid of Wi-Fi. What do you think Wi-Fi is doing to us, since it's everywhere?
I didn't know Wi-Fi was that bad for us. And you know, it's crazy. We all need it. We all use it.
If we started younger, then we would have been so much better. If we knew back then what we did now, things would change. Here's the thing. Today is the youngest you'll ever be again. And you still have enough time to become all you wanted to be in life. The best time to plant a tree may have been 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now.
This was cool. I remember seeing this. I don't know how it's going on.
Yo, can someone explain this? Okay, so you see that cop out there to the right, the one with the rifle? That's the presidential limo where Trump is already going inside after he's been shot. The cop seems to get some type of order through his earpiece. And check this out. He fucking points the gun and seems to point the gun inside the SUV.
I don't see no him pointing no gun. Where? I don't see that. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Been in rooms, the top of the top, which albums are prayed over.
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this.
Demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening. Been in rooms, the top of the top, which albums are prayed over.
I used to pray for...
What I was speaking of was polygyny, plural marriage. In societies where black men are being targeted, black women have to consider plural marriage. We have cities in America where there's one black man to 20 black women.
Jeez.
It is irresponsible and ridiculous to assume that that man is only going to be with that woman when there's 21 other women who need a husband. Because sociologically speaking, can we be honest? I don't care how Christian a woman is. I don't care how Muslim a woman is. I don't care how saved by Jesus a woman is. She wants a man. And if she can't find one, she'll share yours. That is the reality of the human condition. Religion ain't never stopped anybody from sharing somebody else's spouse when they wanted a partner. What I'm saying is this: to control that adultery, to control and protect the integrity of the Black family, let's consider some time-limited scientific approaches to polygyny. So what you're speaking of with the categories was not for men, it was for women. Okay. And what I said was, if you allow Black men, even in South Africa, where I believe the women may outnumber you as well, if you allow the man to marry 2 women, hypothetically, they're all going to go for the most attractive, the most educated, the most wealthy.
Yeah.
Polygyny is not designed to benefit only the top crust of women. Polygyny is designed so every woman in South Africa has equal chance of getting a husband. That means women with multiple children, women with irreversible diseases, women with health complications, they're more undesirable. So if we want to make sure that they get a husband as well, you got to have a system where you say, Dr. Umar, you've already taken one of these sisters over here. All the brothers want to be with them.
Yeah.
No kids, beautiful, educated, no liability at all. But because polygyny is to benefit the community, you have to now marry a woman with multiple children. You now have to marry a woman who's above the age of your desirability. You now have to marry a woman who may have a little bit more baggage financially or psychologically. The point that I was making is, if we're going to go to a polygynous society, we have to make sure we're not exploiting women. And the best way to make sure you do that is to give women who are not what a lot of men would want an opportunity to get married as well. What I was speaking of was polygyny.
I mean, he do got a good point on that, though. Like, there's so many. I think there's more women than men on the planet, to be honest. I think that's how it is. That's probably why some women be like, you know, without.
I haven't busted a nut in 4 months. Kai Cenat, Duke, Dennis, me. The reason why we're so successful and why we're so honed in and so tuned in and so focused on what we got going on is because we haven't nutted in 4 months, bro. Duke said he broke his celibacy about a month or 2 ago. Once you understand that, it wasn't even worth it. He got back on that grind, and now he's getting back to where he need to be, bro. Kai, he got in trouble with a girl. He got in legal trouble with a girl. Now he's not talking to no girls. He's not nutting. I guarantee you, Kai is going to be running one of the most successful streams of all time, if not already, bro. Like, he had 400,000 viewers when his 4th of July stream 3 days ago. That's what not nutting does, but that's what not busting nuts does. That's what focusing on yourself and building up all that life force energy does, bro. Once you realize that the energy you're wasting doing this all day is energy used to create life. And by life, I'm not talking about just another human being. I'm talking about manifestations within this realm of existence. Within this. Stop! But every single time you understand that, bro, you'll become way, way better. So I need you to understand that you need to stop nutting and stop letting go of your energy and use it for good. Kai, Duke, and me haven't nutted in 3 to 4 months, and that's why.
Let's listen to what the CIA agent have to say about tips on being a spy. I think you're gonna want to listen.
What is the one spy trick you would
Listen.
teach everyone that they can use to improve their life instantly? Now, you already mentioned quite a few, but what else could jump to mind?
My go-to answer for this has not really changed much over the last few years. So the most important spy trick to change everything immediately is something called perception versus perspective. We all look at the world through our own perception. My dad used to tell me, my stepdad used to tell me that perception is reality. And I was arguing this with him when I was 14 years old. I told you so, Dad, you're still wrong.
Yeah.
But perception is your interpretation of the world around you. But it's unique only to you. There's no advantage in your perception. That's why so many people find themselves arguing all the time, trying to convince other people of their own perception. The way that you win any argument, the way that you get ahead in your career, the way that you outsell or outrace anybody is when you move off of perception and move into perspective. Perspective is the act or the art of observing the world from outside of yourself. Whether that's outside of yourself as like an entity just observing in a third from a different point of view, or even more powerful, you sit in the shoes.
Let's listen to what the CIA agent have to say about tips.
That is a good way, right? Like seeing other people's perspectives, not just yours. Like yours is so important. Sometimes you gotta look at other people's perspectives and see how they see it, you know. And hey, you can definitely find success in that for sure.
Immortal. They don't want you to know that. They want you to go to school and learn a little bit of bullshit. The kids ain't even learning cursive writing no more. Why? Penmanship is the end-all, be-all to existence. If you don't know how to write, you can't do nothing. Where do you think the first book came from? Somebody's mind. And guess how they got those thoughts? Through meditation, from the cosmos. Why you think they can't figure out how they built the pyramids? Why they so indestructible? That's metaphysics. That's what they not giving us. But guess what? We taking it back. Because there's an awakening in the midst. Tonight is a full moon. Meditate in it. Cleanse yourself of that negative energy. Stop watching that television. Turn that radio off. Stop eating these genetically modified organisms that they got for your ass to transmutate into what they want you to be, which is nothing. Okay, because that's what they are, and they know that, and that's why they need you to be where they at, so they can try to figure you out, but they're not never gonna do it. Watch that movie Interstellar. It tells you how they have an expiration date. If we're not here, the earth will naturally cleanse itself of its parasites. You are immortal. They don't want you to know that. They want...
I need to watch Interstellar. How many of y'all seen that movie, Interstellar?
Kanye West was cloned and replaced and you didn't even know it.
Fans think that
Check this
Kanye
out.
West was cloned by the government because after Kanye West was seen performing with Travis Scott in Rome, fans noticed that the Kanye West on stage in front of fans looks nothing like the Kanye West everyone remembers from before. And when fans got a closer look at the new Kanye, they noticed that he was missing some tattoos in places where he had them before. Not only that, but in months leading up to the concert with Travis Scott, there were many videos circulating around the internet of the supposedly new Kanye West. It gets scarier though, because Kanye West actually told his fans that he was going to be cloned even before he disappeared.
If I ever went anywhere, we'd know why. You understand what I'm saying?
Yet some people still don't believe that Kanye West was actually cloned, and that all the fans who think that are just overreacting about the situation. They believe the reason Kanye West looks different is because Kanye is getting older and starting to age. But if you think Kanye West was cloned, follow.
Kanye West was cloned.
I don't know. Kanye been like going through so many phases. I don't even know if he cloned or not. I don't know.
I'm finna show you what the power of life and death in your tongue means. Pay attention, gang. I need y'all to take notes.
I am really shocked that we don't even learn this in school. This is some next level stuff, and it was verified to be true. Dr. Masaru Emoto, and what he discovered was, you know, when you speak to the water and you say certain things like, "I love you," or you know, "You're my friend,"
or beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful,
yeah.
Angel. It could be simple. It's like
words.
angel, happiness, peace. When you say these positive words to the water and then you freeze it, it makes beautiful shapes.
Most of the time they're symmetrical. They look like
you Google images. They have photos of this.
They look like snowflakes, like beautiful symmetrical snowflakes.
Now, when you say mean, nasty words to the water, and then they freeze the water, it would make ugly,
asymmetrical
repulsive shapes.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah, like cracks and looks like damage.
Bubbles.
And he basically proved that like your consciousness and your will combined with the intention behind your words affects reality. It's like the concept that like your words are magic, so much so that you change physical reality.
Yeah, it is quite literally proof that the things that come out of your mouth
change reality,
affect your physical surroundings.
Even in the Bible, they tell you that the tongue has the power of life and death. So be mindful not to speak death, speak life. Y'all let me know what y'all
Very
think about this
true.
video in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay.
Dang. They just broke it down how water collects memory. That's crazy.
Damon Darling.
Daniel Hafley. Nice to meet you.
You don't want to shake my hand?
Well, I would, sir, but what is your purpose?
I'm just being a human. Human to a human.
That's a good thing to do.
I get it.
I'm in here shopping at Lowe's.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. I get why.
Assume whatever you need to here.
He's a troll.
What
Bro,
am I?
He's a troll.
Shop for wheels.
What am I assuming?
You approach me, so you'll have to address that with me, sir.
Well, I get it, and my feelings are hurt. They're pretty hurt. I will admit. But I just was trying to be a human being to another human being.
Okay, if that's your purpose today,
My heart beats like yours beats.
well, if that's your purpose today, my purpose is shopping for equipment and tools.
Yeah. Got $1. Damon Darling.
Fuck, what a night. That cat was way too good. I can't believe I slept with my bro Shawty.
You piece of shit, I knew it was you.
Buzz!
You've been plotting this whole time.
Buzz! Listen, she came on to me. In your absence, I had to represent my mans. Her cat was A1. I had to jump in it about 3 times. Then she gonna say tall niggas do it better. In my head, I'm like Buzz like 5'3". He don't know what to do with that. If you really love her, I'll handle that for you, my boy. You love her, right?
So you fuck my girl, then gaslight me like I'm stupid.
Yeah, that is funny. That's crazy. She really driving with no, like, that's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Livestock emit methane and nitrous oxide. Now, most people, when they think of climate change, they think of CO2, carbon dioxide, which is a very potent global warming gas. But methane is 25 times more potent per molecule when it's released than CO2. And nitrous oxide is 298 times more potent per molecule than CO2. These are very powerful global warming gases.
So today we have a very special camera called a hyperspectral imaging camera, and it basically enables us to be able to see gases that would be otherwise invisible to the naked eye. And today we're looking at methane gas. Methane is a gas that is being produced by cows when they belch.
Methane, together with the other gases it produces in the atmosphere, has caused 1/3 of global warming since 1750. Livestock are the largest source of methane that we can control. Steep cuts in methane emissions can slow global warming by 15 to 25 years, making it the most effective means we have to slow warming in the critical years ahead.
Whoa, look at that. Wow.
To demonstrate the different heating potentials of climate gases, we can look to an experiment known as the infrared absorption experiment. Here, we see 4 Earth-shaped ice statues, each one in its own airtight chamber. The chambers represent the atmosphere surrounding the planet. Each has an infrared heater placed above it, set at identical temperatures, and each one is then filled with a different gas. The first chamber is filled with normal air that we breathe from day to day. The second chamber is filled with carbon dioxide, a well-known climate-warming gas. The third chamber is filled with methane, a gas associated with animal agriculture, and the fourth chamber is filled with nitrous oxide, also a gas associated with animal agriculture. Over time, we begin to see the ice statue in the carbon dioxide chamber slightly melting compared with the normal air. But in the same short time, the statues in the methane and nitrous oxide chambers begin to melt rapidly as the temperature inside rises considerably higher than both the normal air and also the carbon dioxide. 16 hours later, the results are stark. We can clearly see that the methane and nitrous oxide, the two main gas byproducts of animal agriculture, are potent climate-warming gases.
Livestock emit methane and nitrous oxide.
Interesting.
8 years caffeine-free myself, bud. You going for the decaf or the caffeinated?
Why you look so upset?
What, the 8 years caffeine-free? Yeah. Well, I'm just a sober, pure kind of guy. It makes my mental clarity a lot better. I'm not moody and... Really? Yeah, I'm not jittery. I'm really here.
You were moody when you drank?
I was. If I didn't have a cup. I was good once I got the cup in me.
Oh.
And it wasn't like that out the gate, but over time, Bub, my body just...
Not like alcohol.
No. But I'm off alcohol, too.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm off alcohol, too. Black tea?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, black. Yeah. Got a dollar, bro? Love you, man.
In 2018, a woman was sucked out of a window on a Southwest flight headed to Dallas. It happened when an engine broke in the air, causing debris to break a window. This caused the cabin to depressurize and suck the nearby woman out of the plane. The other passengers held on to her as she hung halfway out. And after a few minutes, they were able to get her back into the plane. But she had severe head trauma, which unfortunately caused her to die. In 2018, a woman was sucked out of a window.
Oh, wow. What's that?
Perfect. Everybody should do a 5 to 7 day fast once every year, and I'll explain to you why. At any given time, your body has 5 to 7 pounds of feces inside of your system. Your body needs to process all these things. Your body needs to heal itself. Your body needs to recover. How is it going to be recovering if the energy that it's using to recover is instead being used to break down all these bullshit ass processed foods that you eat? Your body's inflamed. Your body has no time to heal. Your body has no time to clean itself up. Water, lime juice if you want to, a little bit of salt, fast for 7 days. It'll reduce your chance of cancer by 98%. Perfect. Everybody should.
Here's a little something you can ponder in your mind. Something that has never been explored along these lines. Paint a mental picture of the guns you can find, and I'll show you why we're so fascinated with the 9. The reason that we like it doesn't lie in the design. The secret of our adoration lies behind the 9, the number. It has a special meaning that's divine, spiritual significance that needs to be defined. Man's relationship with the number 9 is odd. It has its beginnings and its origins in God. Here is an example that I'm giving to you first. Consider there are 9 planets in the universe. Mercury, Venus, Earth, then the Mars, plus the other 5 planets rest among the stars. They're all heavenly bodies, but herein lies the wisdom. Consider that your heavenly body has 9 systems. A planet for each system, a system for each planet. This seems to be a symbolism that we take for granted. Circulatory, reproductive, skeletal, and nervous, muscular, and endocrine to others. Go research it, and then just prepare. The universe is 999 times 999 times squared. There's a little science from the time dropped right from the mind of the sign, number 9. 9 represents birth, completion. That's all. Take notice how the 9th month is the start of fall. It's the 3rd out of 4 seasons, so peek what you find, that the 3 for the season is the square root of 9. Bullets from the 9mm keep on gunning. My mother Ty said that 9 is the number of the woman. So look closely at the word feminine, and you will find, if you break it down right, that it's really feminine. The woman in 9. And that's just a segment, because a 9 looks like the bottom half of a woman when she's pregnant. So peep how it takes a 9 months to have a baby. Approximately 270 days she carries her seed. And that math is divine, because the 2 plus the 7 plus the 0 equals 9. A man, when he marries a woman, the band is placed on a woman's ninth finger on her hand. Surprising? Here is something a little more enticing. Retailers use a 9 in marketing and advertising. Pricing: a car is $20,099, gum is $79, candy is 99 cents, a gallon of gas $3.99. They do this because they know the attractiveness behind 9. It always multiplies back to 9. Use any number with a 9, you can find this is true. 9 times 2 is 18, and 1 plus the 8 equals 9. Know what I mean? 9 times 8, see, that's 72. The 7 plus the 2 is 9. This you can do. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, even 9 times 9, 10, or 11, 360 degrees, you will find that the 3 plus the 6 plus the 0 equals 9.
Nah, he really just broke down how 9 is the highest number. There's no number higher than 9. Everything else, you just put it together. That's all it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. After that, you just putting numbers together at that point, you know, to make 399, 900, 969. That's all you're doing. You're not really, I wouldn't say getting a new number, but you know, it's just no number higher than 9 at the end of the day. It's not. It may seem like it because you adding all the numbers together, but no, it's not. You just adding the numbers together. So, yeah. Nature is beautiful, man. For real. Nature is a beautiful sight.
Said that if you put your hand in the middle of the steering wheel while driving, once the airbag pops open, it will blow up your fingers, and in order to test whether this statement is absurd, Gran got an unexploded steering wheel and decided to detonate him to conduct a hand bombing experiment. However, with no iron powder to serve as a volunteer, Tori decided to make a pair of experimental prosthetic hands, so he used his own arm to pour the mold and then poured the melted gel into it, in order to achieve the same physical properties as a real person's finger. After they also put chicken bones in the palm of their hands, Gran fixed their prosthetic hands to the steering wheel in a normal driving position and attached the leads to detonate the airbags, and when everything was ready, they hid behind the blast door and pressed the detonation button. With an explosion, the airbag instantly bounced the dummy's arm away, but after inspection, they found that the dummy's fingers were not injured in any way, but in reality, old drivers like to their thumbs, so will they be more susceptible to injury? However, when they detonated the airbag again, the dummy's finger was still not injured in the slightest, and Kelly said that many female drivers would put their fingers in the middle of the steering wheel when driving, so Tori recreated the prosthetic hand and followed Kelly's driving position. It was fixed on the steering wheel, and when they detonated the airbag again, the dummy's thumb was actually broken, which shows that the power of the airbag explosion is very large. The airbag is triggered while cornering. Will it hurt us? And finally they put the dummy in a bending position, and then the airbag was popped out again, and this time the bounced arm was slapped on the head. If such a thing really happened in reality, it would definitely hurt a little. Therefore, everyone must pay attention to the correct posture when driving, otherwise the airbag will not be safe. Said that if you put your hand in the middle of the steering wheel while driving, once the airbag pops open, it will blow up your fingers, and in order to test whether this statement is
nigga, I'll never quit.
What's going on?
Do you think we're supposed to be here right now?
Interesting. What? When did that happen?
Your impact on others.
The word says his voice is like many waters. What is he saying to you today? I love you, my child. Keep dreaming. I have plans to prosper you. Oh, that's so good. What else? I give
funny.
you a hope for a future. Oh, that's a good one.
She's funny.
Stay encouraged. He is talking. What else, Father? What else? Oh, that's good. I sent Jesus to die for you. Did you know that one? Let me get away from here, because I don't know. I don't know.
The food we consume isn't what we perceive it to be. The higher-ups of the world have tainted our fruits, vegetables, and meats. You may have seen videos on social media exposing how they drug up our meat and whatnot. Furthermore, we have been brainwashed to consume these processed foods for convenience and perceived benefits, when, in reality, they're doing the exact opposite. Consider this. Where is all this disease coming from? When animals get sick, it's instinctual for them to fast as the first line of defense to rid their bodies of disease. It's imperative at this time that we embrace intermittent fasting, a practice that has been around for thousands of years and was regularly practiced by our ancestors. At this particular moment in time, we must intermittent fast more than ever, or we risk facing consequences similar to those seen during the COVID outbreak in 2020, but far worse. Pay close attention to your health in this current state. The food we...
China's first dynasty and emperors were black. China's rich history includes the fact that its first dynasty and emperor, King Tu, were of Africoid or black origins. The Shang dynasty, which followed, was the earliest documented rulership in China, and is credited with unifying the country's earliest elements to form its first civilization. Under the Black Dynasty, they were given the name Naki, meaning black man in Chinese. Calling an emperor. Black man is not a coincidence and does not pass without reason. It simply suggests that the entire dynasty had black roots. Fuxi, the legendary first Chinese emperor, was a woolly-haired black man who is said to have established government, social institutions.
Billions of computers worldwide are getting the blue screen of death after a faulty Windows security update was forcibly pushed out, causing all Windows computers to shut down, shutting down airports, hospitals, restaurants, and any business that runs on Windows. This is so bad that nearly all airlines have grounded all flights because they can't issue tickets, they can't scan tickets. Some of the airplanes run on Windows, and so they can't run certain components on the airplane.
Imagine being stuck in that.
Camped out in the airport with lines going out the door, and them manually writing out people's tickets. In hospitals, a lot of the equipment is becoming unusable as they run on Windows in the back end. And in a lot of grocery stores, you can't even check out right now, as a lot of the checkout aisles have the blue screen of death as well. I mean, even if you just walk outside, if you look at any of the digital signage around the world, most of it have the blue screen of death, including the Las Vegas Sphere. A security company that Microsoft works with, CrowdStrike, is responsible for pushing out the faulty update that bricked over 1 billion Microsoft computers, and they said they're frantically working on getting this fixed. But it seems like this issue is so big that I don't know if a simple remote update is going to fix issues like this on 1 billion computers, but that's my opinion. If y'all want to support more content like this, make sure to follow. Billions of computers worldwide are getting...
That's interesting. I wonder what's causing that. Is it the solar flares? What is it? You know? Interesting.
The flight has canceled. Unfortunately,
Oh.
we can't rebook or refund.
This is really happening.
What you mean you can't? At this time, we can't rebook or refund anything at this time because the systems are still down.
Okay, now that's all cool and all. That's all cool and all, but couldn't y'all have told me this shit like maybe 3 fucking hours ago when we was asking questions? I wish you could have. But let me explain now. We're done. Okay.
The flight has canceled.
I mean, you gotta put yourself in her shoes, you know, or whoever shoes that's going through this right now. So I get it. I get why she's upset. She might want to go home, you know. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, she probably lost a package. I mean, luggage, my bad. Luggage. It's a lot. So that's understandable. I understand why she's upset. So yeah. This is crazy. So this is worldwide, huh?
Report. Here's Hoda Kotb.
Wow.
Good morning. Good to see you.
That's
You are
interesting.
coming on the air right now with breaking news. A massive global technical outage
tied to CrowdStrike, which is a major cybersecurity provider, has knocked critical computer infrastructure offline all across the country and, in fact, all around the world. It's an issue with a software update. It's impacting lots and lots of Microsoft computer systems worldwide, from businesses to emergency services, 911, traffic lights, transit systems, and it's having a major impact on airlines as well. American, Delta, United, they're all keeping their flights grounded. You're looking at some live scenes from the airport. It is chaos again, 6 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is the scene now. They're having difficulty even printing any kind of boarding passes. This, of course, is a developing situation. The full scope of this problem remains to be seen.
That is interesting. I wonder what's really causing this to happen. For real. Alright, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You got something out of there. I'm sending peace, abundance, prosperity, and good health your way. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you get outside in that sun if the weather is nice and it's not raining and all that good stuff. I mean bad stuff. But yeah, go get some of that good sun. Alright, and eat you some fruits, eat some healthy foods here and there. And if you want to indulge in some crap, make sure you detox. Alright, but with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.